Yo, welcome to another episode of Under the Surface, a talk show where we talk all things Bazaar. This is the second episode on the Green Heart Law. If you have not seen the previous episode, there is a link in the right upper corner. We are continuing the discussion on dinosaurs, ancient civilizations, and mysterious artifacts. What is the deal with all those things? You are going to find out shortly, because we are diving under the surface. So this is the second episode, or perhaps even fourth, depending on how you count it, of law discussion on the Foundation. And this time we will attempt to finish off the Green Heart mysteries. So we were talking about time-traveling robots, dinosaurs, dragons, sphinxes, all that stuff. You can find that in the previous episode. To continue with the dragons and dinosaurs, a couple of skins are displayed at the end of the video, and one of them is Dooley riding a dragon. On the back of the dragon, there is a throne constructed. There's this leopard fur sort of seat. This type of pattern is, I think, well, usually it's white with black spots, right? But it's usually connected to royalty, and also the headpiece that Dooley is wearing could be considered a crown. This could be another argument for Dooley uplifting the dragons to some type of society, some type of civilization, and perhaps because of it, he became their king.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, because when I was watching the lore video, just the whole, I was in disbelief that they actually made Dooley go back in time to dinosaurs, but he did. And now it's like, yeah, you're right. He is obviously king. I don't know. It's just really weird to me. I like it. It's fun, but I don't know. I didn't expect time travel. And
yeah.
So I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, you had something about the comets, the Sphinx lady.
Yeah, so obviously she's the head of this temple thing. I mean, that's what it seems like, the jungle temple. And I'm just wondering, why is she doing this? You know, she's the keeper of lost worlds, right? Okay, why have tickets that you can obtain to go into her temple and then attempt to, see if you're worthy to obtain a legendary relic? What is she getting out of this? What is the point of this? Are they needing people like protectors for a reason, or she's just having a good time? I don't know.
I would say that definitely there's a reason, because one of her quotes is that she's testing people to see if they're worthy. The test is probably the temple expedition, but what does it mean to be worthy and for what? That's a mystery. Just the temple expedition, just the exploration of that place is not the whole story. I think that your assumption that she's some sort of a guardian could be sound. The thing is, what is she guarding, right? Besides the temple. I think there's a deeper mystery here.
Maybe she's trying to ready the current civilization for whatever wiped her civilization out.
Do you think that she might be part of this Aztec situation? As in, there were Sphinx people living there, or was she some sort of deity?
I don't know. I go back and forth on what the heck she is, because obviously she seems very, she has the biblically accurate angel wings all over her.
Yeah.
So that feels, like a god type character. But I don't know. In a lot of lore and fantasy stuff, the old, I'm thinking Final Fantasy VII, the ancients are kind of mystical beings, and so maybe she's kind of that equivalent, an old race of these mystical beings that got wiped out. She's the last of. I don't know. I kind of assume she built this temple or had a hand in it, right?
Perhaps, though she might be just a spirit that lingers there. I'm not sure if you remember, but one of the tracks from the Jungle album, The Secrets of the Green Heart, is Comets Awakens. Right, that's where we first found out about her name. If she awoke, then it must mean that she was sleeping first. She wasn't active. So perhaps when our heroes found the temple, then she was, activated to some degree, and then the testing begun, you know? Perhaps this is just the first step of the operation.
You know how in Horizon Zero Dawn, there's like those, because it's like, I guess spoilers for Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yeah,
but
10-year game, 10-year
yeah,
old.
the it's a really cool game, but like the whole lore is like, oh, the world ended and like everything that's there now is there to like repopulate the earth and everything. But there's those like bunkers. I can't remember exactly what the point of them is, but there's like trial kind of bunkers that have like holograms of people that you talk to and you learn stuff. So maybe this is a Bazaar version of that.
Hard to say, but we cannot, exclude that. I have a couple more less defined things in terms of that I found in this video. First
Okay.
of all, we've been introduced to another district of the Bazaar, and it was done in passing, because at the very beginning it says that from the underworld of Raftown to the bubbling distilleries of Arcane District, something like that. So we knew about Arcane District, but Raftown is another part of the city that we have a name for, but I have no idea who lives in Raftown. Though I would probably suspect that the bonk guy is from there, I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't think the elites are living in Rough Town. I think somebody mentions Rough Town. One of the enemies mentions Rough Town, but I can't remember who it is.
Right. So, the viewers, you have homework. If you know who says anything about Raftown, you can, mention that in the comments. Another naming stuff that I could bring up is Green Heart. Well, is referred to as Dark Depths of the Green Heart. And in the last episode, we were, introduced to Dark Depths. There's great chasm that was shown in the Foundation episode.
Yeah, I didn't think about that because, well, before this episode, I guess I thought the Green Heart was more inside of the Bazaar, but this makes it feel like it's like on the surface of the Bazaar. So maybe it is existing in like, I don't know, maybe it is existing in like a crack sort of situation, because it's a green heart. Like, you think it would be inside, not just like on the surface, you know?
I mean, Green Heart could also relate to the fact that it produces oxygen, because like Amazon is also sometimes described as green heart of the earth, because it produces the most oxygen, but like the algae in the sea produce almost half of the oxygen that we have on Earth. So, but you know what I'm getting at. But in the picture that shows this great chasm, those dark depths from the Foundation video, well, there are no trees there, and Green Heart is supposed to be a jungle, so I'm not sure if those two are related, or is that just a coincidence?
Yeah, we don't have a good I mean, we have that image from the last video, the Atlas Archives, but we don't have like a really good like map of the Bazaar, so it is hard to really pinpoint where things are and everything. I did want to mention the image with like a bunch of weird buildings and a weird gold thing in the back is an item that's been revealed for Matt called Tomb of the Ancients, which is, I think, just more interesting lore for the green heart. We know, I mean, I assume they're actually tombs, right? Or like what do you call that when you go, they're like under the ground and like a bunch of bodies are kind of just placed in there? Is it a tomb? I feel like there's another name for it.
There's also a crypt, maybe.
Crypt, yeah. It's kind of the vibe I get from these.
First of all, tomb is a tomb, like it doesn't really require an explanation. But the ancients, another race being introduced here.
Yeah. Is that the same race as Comac? Is that
Comats
related?
Well,
she just
it's not stated what she actually is. I mean, I just assumed she's a sphinx. She could be an ancient.
Yeah, if they called her if they're gonna call anything an ancient in this game, it's her, right? Like the way she looks and everything with the glowing eyes.
Yeah, perhaps. I would like for us to go back to those relics, those legendary relics, for a bit, because like there are a couple of items that I would like us to, compare and think about for a bit. We've already seen that dragon head with a ruby fire. It's a statue, okay, but the thing to the left of it, this I'm not even sure what it is, like a statuette, but also like like to me it looks sort of like a mutated slug. Perhaps I'm grasping at straws here. But the main part that I wanted to mention here is that there's this blue crystal, light blue crystal inserted in the head with giant quotation marks. And if we also look at the picture later on, there's a giant brass statue, a sort of a cauldron perhaps, and it also has this light blue crystal that looks very similar. So I would assume, and also has spikes, so another similarity. I'm not sure if the purpose of both of those objects is the same, but I would say it definitely has a connection. There's some energy there.
Yeah, I haven't really considered I did for like a second, like what the relic's point was, because I guess they had some purpose. But yeah, they look I would assume these are like similar, like whatever the heck this thing is, and the one with the three of them, the blue slug thing, as you called it, doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like anything to me. I can't tell, but I would assume that's the exact same type of power. They're both doing ice, so I guess it makes sense they would look the same, right?
It's another crystal, the mystery is being piled on with every Atlas Archives. Yeah, I was focused on that particular mystery for a while now, but like one more thing that I could mention about this giant bronze statue is that it's covered in moss and some brushes, at the top. With that, I would assume it's old to some degree at least, though it seems, besides this overgrown aesthetic, it seems rather well kept and is perhaps at the center of the temple. Well, at least inside the temple, because we can see walls in the background, right? And it's fairly big compared to the person here.
Yeah, man, I always miss the people in these pictures. Oh my God, it's huge. I guess with the crystals and everything in the temple, we kind of have confirmation that this specific ancient civilization I guess we don't know if they created them, but we know that probably what Bazarians are using today are from these, right?
Could be, yeah.
What the heck would this thing be used for?
I have no idea. It's irregular shape. Like it has glowing parts, but it also has some spikes. It could be decorative. If it was, then I would assume it would have more defined shape. It could be like abstract, but like comparing to what we've seen already, like I don't think they would, put out a thing that has completely no meaning and it just exists.
Yeah, it could be like air conditioning. We know it's like going to be a freeze thing.
To be fair, jungle environment usually is fairly, humid and also hot. And if you have like unlimited power from power crystals, then go for it, yeah?
And if you look at the little, we have the little dragon fire thing. That feels more like it's like a little lamp, right? Or something.
Yeah, like a lava lamp on your nightstand.
I guess the ancients just use these things for like basic stuff, but now they're powerful weapons in the Bazaar today.
Yeah. And also there's this like D12 with this pink and black inside, and it's also smoking. Pink and black usually are used to depict some sort of corruption, right? Something poisonous. Judging by the gem at the top of the item, it's, if I'm not mistaken, lifesteal weapon.
Maybe it's like a normal crystal that's been corrupted. That's what I get the vibe from it. It almost looks, it's obviously lifesteal, but I don't know, the weird smoke coming out of it gives like an evil vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems bad. Oh, also Retromation said he showed off a couple relics. They told him there's a bunch of them. It's not just like these 3 every time or like a set of like 5. I think it's quite a few. So we may get more answers when we actually see a lot of them and see their names and stuff.
Okay. I just wanted to bring up the fact that this also looks sort of like Roman dodecahedron. And I learned about this object literally today because Joe Scott made a video about it.
I just watched that too, and I almost just brought that up. That's crazy because I was like, "Is it the same?" I was like, "Oh, maybe it looks different."
I mean, this one is more spiky, but like there's some similarities to it. Maybe there was some inspiration drawn. As Joe Scott said in the video, there's no clear purpose of those objects, so we can't even infer from that.
We know what it's probably based off of, but yeah, it doesn't tell us anything. It's an ancient artifact. Oh, we already do that.
Yeah. Two more things, that I wanted to bring up. So, spirit diffuser. What the hell is that? And why is it diffusing spirits?
Maybe you don't have those over in Europe.
Ah.
Every American household has one. No, because I feel like this also destroys my air conditioning. I don't know. It's a different color. So it's a different type of thing. But
I mean, it's similar, but we do not see any like visible crystals, right? It's more like a wisps of smoke, wisps of spirit energy.
yeah, what does it even mean to diffuse a spirit?
I checked that beforehand, what diffuse means. And to diffuse is move outwards stuff, like to sprinkle, sort of.
Yeah.
It sort of generates spirits. What are those spirits? I don't think we've met any ghosts yet. Perhaps besides Gaseo, but I'm not sure if he's a spirit.
Yeah, I think it's just a cloud guy or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think of like an essential oil diffuser. Maybe it's just like a really big one of those. And they use, the foundation's a messed up place. Apparently, we're taking an assumption that maybe it's destroying civilizations or something. So maybe they're just like, yeah, kill a few people, stick them in, and your home smells nice.
Right, so we have air conditioning and air freshener. Yeah, just stick Wunderbaum logo on it and you're good to go.
This thing's also massive if you look at the guy. I just noticed.
Yeah, it is. Right. So the final thing, the board looks really nice. The new Aztec board.
Yeah, I feel like I think about this about every new board I see, but I feel like this is the best board in the game.
I like Jabalian Longhouse, I think, like the best. It has peaceful vibe. I would actually consider the previous board, the nature board or whatever it's called, the best, but the main part that I dislike about it are those clouds at the top and the bottom. Like they are super distracting and they cover up the art. I have no idea why they put those clouds there.
Yeah, I like the concept of I like to know the world is like kind of like foggy or something, I guess is the vibe. But yeah, every time I get switched onto that board when I fight somebody, I'm like, what the heck? For a second, like what's going on? Why is it cloudy?
Yeah, maybe if they went a bit lighter on those clouds, maybe it could be okay. But like if I had that board and I was seeing those, I don't know, like foggy clouds 24/7, I don't know, I feel like I would switch that board to something else, but perhaps it's just me.
I really like the board. I just don't like that, so I don't know. I don't have it, so it sucks. And should not be worth anything. But all the boards I have are really good. I have Jabalian Longhouse, so I really like that board.
Big jealous. I still have not hit any legendaries.
Oh god, I pulled a legendary this season, and I played like by far the least this season.
Yeah, I have almost 800 chests opened.
Oh my god. One other thing I want to say about this board is this little idol guy that just goes absolutely ballistic with coins and stuff.
Yeah.
And fire. That's the best thing ever. I love that.
You hit jackpot.
Yeah. I thought this board was, I'm probably wrong, or maybe it's both, but I assumed like you go into the jungle expedition, or the temple expedition, and then you get this weird animation. And then you're at the jungle ruins. Does your board change? I assume it's a board you can get, but does it just change regardless? Or are these are the same board, right?
Yeah, it's just like they show off the various animations.
I assume the case is that when you go into the jungle expedition or temple expedition, you're in this board during it. Would make sense.
Possibly, yeah, it would be cool, but I'm not 100% sure. If it's the case, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I guess that's it for today. We, squeezed this episode for everything it had, like literally. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Comment what you think this relic I said was an air conditioner does, because maybe somebody has a better answer than that.
Yeah. If you have any theories, put them in the comments. You may also leave a like or subscribe. That would be cool. And yeah, I guess we'll see you all on Thursday for another episode of Under the Surface. Who knows? Maybe we'll have another law episode for you. Thanks for watching again, and bye.
See you.